What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Right Man in the Wrong Place. My name is Luke Tatum. When I react to music, sometimes it's video game music, like today, sometimes it's regular music, and who knows what else might come up, but it's always going to be something interesting. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad to be here. And today, you can already see it up here in the corner, but we're going to be reacting to some good old StarCraft 1 music. I have listened to StarCraft 1, so this is not a first time reaction by any stretch of the imagination. I've played hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of hours of StarCraft 1. So if you're not familiar, it's a PC strategy game that came out in 1998, followed by the expansion called Brood War. And it's one of the best dang games ever made. So if you haven't played it, you should get on that. StarCraft 2 is kind of okay, but StarCraft 1 is one of the all-time greats. And so without belaboring the point, but if you're not familiar, there's humans known as Terrans from Terra, right? Earth. And then there's Zerg, and then there's Protoss. Those are the different alien species that it's a war between those basically. And so the Zerg are these like horrific biologically based creatures. Biologically based meaning like it's the swarm. The swarm incorporates all these new biological creatures on the planets that it takes over, and incorporates their kind of biological elements into future Zerg creatures. Are very, very terrifying. The music is really like industrial. And I mean, it's one of the things that the old Blizzard games before before we got really past Warcraft 3, before World of Warcraft was a thing, the old Blizzard games were great. Okay. Absolutely phenomenal. Diablo, Blizzard, excuse me, Diablo, Warcraft, StarCraft, their main franchises, absolutely phenomenal. And I have a lot of fond memories, so I'm biased for sure. But the tone setting is absolutely flawless across the board. The soundtrack gives you the identity of the different races or the different species you can play as, but it also, like, the sound design, the sounds that the units make, everything about StarCraft is flawless when it comes to tone setting, atmospherics, all that. And so I thought we'd just listen to Zerg 1. Each of the races have 3 songs. So there's Terran 1, Terran 2, Terran 3, Protoss 1, etc. So this is Zerg 1. And there's no reason to throw up a copyright filter or anything because, hey, this is going to play right off of my media player. I use Plex Amp. I run a Plex media server for all my music and everything. And so the song I know, I'm going to just play it right out of here. Just nothing to worry about, right? But if you never heard this, I think you'll be into it. If you like any of the prog rock and stuff, that's kind of what gave me the idea. All the prog material on here, I mean, I think you're going to hear that here. So it's kind of a funny sentence. Um, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Hope you enjoy. Oh yeah, and that picture before, I assume that's Glenn Stafford. I have no idea who that was. Some Blizzard guy. They have like power tool effects. There's like an electric drill kind of a thing going at one point in the sounds. It's just very industrial, right? Wailing guitar. Great stereo separation. I like how in this song in particular, it's been a while since I've listened to these, but it's I like how in this song in particular the guitar kind of carries you through the different stages of the song. It's like movements, you know, it's more symphony than it is rock, right? I don't know what instrument this is. I assume it's a synth, right? But dun 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 dun. Kind of like a, it's almost like the T-Rex footstep in Jurassic Park, like boom, reverb. Again, tone setting, right? Atmospherics. A little bit of percussion coming in now in the right ear. This is so great on these headphones. This is so great. And I mean, of course, I have no right to give a. I can't give an unbiased opinion here. I love this guitar. Hi-hat. There's plenty of times in the StarCraft soundtrack, like every race, where you just wish like a particular segment would be a whole song. Like, wish they would just rock for a while. But no, it's great. Okay, and so here's like kind of part two. Again, it's really like there's more than 3 songs, but it just sort of, because you're gonna hear these hundreds of times if you play the game, it's really really well planned for background music, right? Because it changes a lot. It's not just like a, I mean, I love the soundtrack for like Command and Conquer, Tiberian Sun, Red Alert 2, those games. But they can get kind of repetitive. Those are great songs too. But they kind of have like a groove, you know? And so it's good that there's several songs. StarCraft 1 didn't need 20 tracks on the soundtrack, because the 9 that you hear when you play, or the 3 if you only play one of the races, are great and they are varied. Here we come. Yeah, here it all comes swelling in here. It still, like 20 years later, over 20 years later, is it? I mean, it's been a long time since 1996, right? Or, excuse me, 1998. But it blows my mind that varied instrumentation and varied pacing and varied like percussive tones and just how much is in each of these tracks. If you've never played StarCraft, like, oh my gosh. The identity that these tracks give to each race are amazing. Headphones, yeah, a must. Like techno drums coming in now, right? The percussive parts are kind of passed around in this segment, right? You've got these drums with reverb kind of hitting at different points. The Zerg, by the way, they're inspired partially by like Alien, the movie Alien. So the xenomorph, like that's very prominent kind of design aesthetic in StarCraft. Like you can kind of hear that here, right? It's like these crazy, bizarre, horrific, sharp clawed, sharp spiked beings. And that's basically the song. But there's a part of me that wants to do all of the songs from StarCraft, right? StarCraft 2 even, like their soundtrack is good. It's not as good as 1, but it's good and it's got some unique and cool things in there. That's a rant that I'll spare you right now, but man, just so much. I would love to do so. If this is the kind of thing that you like, if you enjoyed listening to or watching me listen to, or even that's not great. If you enjoyed listening to that with me, then you let me know, right? Put it in the comments. I'd love to do the rest of the tracks. I'd love to do StarCraft 2. I'd love to do Warcraft 2. You want to talk about a cool soundtrack that is underappreciated by modern people? Warcraft 2 is a killer soundtrack. And yeah, just let me know. If you like it, like the video, subscribe, comment, let me know that you enjoyed this and would like to see more. And I am keeping track of all the comments. I look at every single one. So thank y'all so much. Until next time, the right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world.